with your role at because not only have you been with the University of Miami for over 15 years, which is absolutely amazing, but your role there for government and community relations, you do so much in the community. I mean, it's how I met you. Talk about your vision and some of the things that you're involved in, because it seems to me like you're on so many boards and at so many events, everything from giving away Christmas trees to turkeys.
So it's part of what I love. The university is a community of its own, but it's important to be out in our community representing the university. And we like to be good community partners. So yeah, this year so I've been there 15 years. I started off fundraising. Someone said, "Hey, you'd be great," and recruited me. Sergio Gonzalez, he worked previously for Alex Pinellas, and he had been brought in to raise money for Donna Shalala at the time. And he brought me in. He said, "You'd be a great fundraiser." And I was his non-traditional hire because my background had been I was a model agent for 10 years, representing supermodels, managing their careers. I had been an executive in retail, but a lot of the same transferable skills that he saw worked for fundraising. And sure enough, a couple years in, I raised some of the largest historic gifts to the university and buildings that are there now that I get to walk by. And I'm so happy to see our students working in them and being able to collaborate in spaces that otherwise were not available to them. And it's helped with recruitment, and it's helped the schools and colleges and different programs as well. I mean, I helped various areas of the university, from our pediatric mobile clinics to working with parents, alumni, foundations. There are names on the walls of the museum that I also worked with. I got very involved in Art Basel because of our museum. I got involved in the real estate advisory boards at the university, and our big real estate conference that we have annually that usually has over 800 attendees, and it's always a stellar panel session from all over the world. So, I mean,
absolutely amazing.
Amazing.
And you are nonstop. So recently you received a very big, a few recognitions, but let's start with the proclamation, because I know that your family was there and that was a pretty big deal. And, talk about being proud of your heritage and what what you have built with your family legacy.
Thank you. So, yeah, I was surprised. Mayor Cunningham of Palmetto Bay, who is a lovely individual and very always supportive of everyone in her community, said, "Hey, I'd like you to come over. We're celebrating Hispanic heritage. I saw you were recently honored as a Hispanic woman of distinction." And I thought she was just going to mention her name. And no, she gave me a proclamation and a coin to the city, the mayor's pride coin. And so I was very appreciative. I wasn't expecting it, and I was just very appreciative of her.
Now, you're a mom. Okay. And so on any given day, you're wearing all these different hats. And I always talk about that on the show because you are part of Miami Woman Who Rock and a Founder Circle member. And I admire you so much because you do switch hats on any given day. Let's talk a little bit about, family and the family legacy. A little bit about, you, Miami. Are you a native Miami? And let the audience know a little bit more about you.
Yeah, thank you. So I was born and raised in Miami, and my parents migrated here from Cuba and knew each other as children, and then reconnected here in Miami, and I was born here. And having seen Miami become what it is today and being part of the community is so rewarding to me. And I'm becoming that person that tells you the history of what South Beach used to look like.
We need people like that.
Yeah. And it's just great to know the history of your city and know the folks and have the opportunity to connect people when they need something and they need to meet someone, or be able to just help out in the community.
And so 2 girls, right?
Yeah. 2 teenage daughters. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah. And so
they're great girls.
Any given day, you've got the parenting and
the open house and the drive me here and the pick me up after work and take me there, and it's definitely, and the weekends are definitely busy with them as well. But I'm excited because they're sort of at the end of their high school years. And so I know soon they'll be flying out of the coop. And, so I'm enjoying my last few years with them, which is one of the reasons I was the deputy chief of staff to the president for 5 years at the university after fundraising, and then transitioned into the community relations role to have a little more flexibility and be able to be out in the community more, because I know that they're going to be leaving soon and I want to be more and more involved in the community. And so this is an opportunity to build relationships. I represent the university on various boards, the American Red Cross of South Florida and the Keys, the Coral Gables Community Foundation, Chamber South. I'm involved in several committees with different organizations, like Miami Women Who Rock. And I thank you because I was honored earlier this year. So it's been an exciting, busy year.
Community, thank you, and you were so worthy of that, and more. You're on a streak, as I see it. A few awards in a matter of 3 months, right? Community is a big word. And when you think about your vision for community, I mean, I love this community and I'm in love with service. I'm in love with giving back. And, I've talked a little bit on the show about, I wasn't necessarily raised that way. So it's something that I've learned. But, talk about your vision for the community and also for your role. It's a very big title and a lot of responsibility. So how do you see your vision for the community, and what are some of your goals as you would see how you get out there and, better serve the community?
So I think it's always a goal for us at the university to be part of the community and be out there more and more, build relationships, not only for the university itself, but for our students, representing the university on various boards and being able to bring in context and some of our experts in different areas when needed. There's just endless opportunity. We have such amazing talent at the university, from our Coral Gables campus, which has many of the academic sides that are non-medical, to our nursing school, to our Key Biscayne campus, which studies marine science, to our medical campus, which is having breakthroughs all the time and all kinds of research from cancer to diabetes. It is just such an amazing community within a community to be part of. And so bringing those two together and building those relationships and being more out there as an institution, I think is a huge priority for me. And personally, being able to serve on boards, like, for example, with the American Red Cross, being out there for when the Miami Gardens fire happened, or when the floods in Fort Lauderdale and the hurricane in Naples, and being out there hands-on helping families who just lost their homes and their life savings, and some of them didn't have insurance, and they were so appreciative of us being out there. That for me was the most rewarding, and I try to bring my daughters and my husband too to help, and I think it gives you really a sense of community, and it's just about giving back and appreciating everything that we have.
I love that. And we have the YPP, which is the Young Professional and Philanthropist Circle. And that sense of giving back really does start at home. And even your daughter's birthday was all about giving back. And, I was happy to be there with the Chapman Partnership. Tell us a little bit about that. I know it was a biggie.
Yeah, she came to me and said, it's my 17th birthday and I don't want to have a big party. And usually she loves to have friends in a party. And she says, I want to do something for the community. And we spoke to Chapman. Chapman gave her a goal of $17,000. And I was like, wow, that's a big number.
Mind you, for a teenager.
Yeah.
We know how hard it is to fundraise, okay? So no small feat.
And so we planned the whole walk. We got sponsors, the Giardino salads, the fair. We had several folks, Miami Alkaline Water, who was amazing as well. And everybody got together, and we ended up raising $22,000 for her birthday. And so she was really happy. And so we got to give a check to Chapman for that.
That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. You know that we're working on this leadership legacy, this book of 50 rockstar leaders. And I'm fascinated because I've been in 7 different industries and have gotten to see leadership in different industries. And so have you. And leadership takes many shapes and sizes and styles. What's your leadership style? And what do you think is important in leadership especially for Miami?
So I think in leadership, I don't think it's about any one person. I think it's about the team, and I think it's about collaboration and working together and having a team that supports each other. I don't think it's ever about one person. I think it's about creating a team and a bond and working together towards a goal. I think that that's so important.
So a typical day in the life of Adriana Verdeja. If you're just joining us, we're speaking to a really great, amazing individual who was just recognized Hispanic Woman of Distinction, and also with a proclamation for the city, Palmetto Bay, village of Palmetto Bay. So tell us, inside you a little bit, and things that we might not know.
Well, a typical day starts out very early. We leave the house at 7 to get to school on time, and the day starts from there. And if there's a breakfast for a chamber, and then there's a board meeting at lunch, and then there'll be a couple of meetings in the afternoon, and then there'll be 2 cocktail events that sometimes simultaneously happen at the same time, and they're organizations that I support. Sometimes it's, for example, United Way and Chamber South are both having events tonight. So I will definitely try to stop into both of them and get home in time to make dinner,
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
The organizations that you work with, because you have so many that you're involved with in different capacities, what would you say has changed the most in Miami in the last 5 years? As you take a look at the landscape of charity organizations, and I know I have some impressions, but I'd be interested to see what you think.
So I think in the 5 years, obviously I've switched roles at the university, and I'm able to be out more now working with the different organizations, but I think definitely how they're building relationships and looking strategically at the partners they bring in to participate in the various boards. I think there's definitely an emphasis on quality over quantity, and folks who really want to roll up their sleeves and be out there supporting the cause. And even though I'm involved in several, I make sure that I'm not stretched too thin either, that I can definitely dedicate the time, because if I commit to something, I like to make sure earlier in the year, I was recognized by the Coral Gables Community Foundation with Board Member of the Year, which I did not expect. And Mary Snow is an amazing lady in our community as well, who does great work. And
Love her.
yeah, all of their funds go to support the community, whether it's scholarships, whether it's community projects. I mean, 100% amazing. And so she said, no, you earn this because you attend everything, you're at everything, you're always supporting us, you're always looking at how to connect back the organization with the community and represent the university at the same time, since we are in Coral Gables mainly. So I was very appreciative of that, and not needed, but appreciated.
And it's so true. I mean, the one thing, you're that reliable individual that, I know I can count on you. I mean, we honored you at 50 Shades of Pink, our very big signature event. And not only, did you, show up in grace and style, but, you help get all the bouquets for the honorees, and, didn't want any recognition for that. But I mean, that's the true sign. Tell me who you are when we're not looking. And that's how I think you can define a real leader, how they act when the camera's not on or when the spotlight's not on them. And, I love that about you, that you're like that. You've also met some really fascinating people over the years. So
Yeah.
let's hear some of those, because I love going through your camera roll.
Yeah. So, having worked from the fashion industry into the university academic world, definitely I've traveled and been around many interesting folks and from all walks of life. And it's definitely been interesting. I think one of my favorite people ever that I met was Michelle Obama. She was definitely an amazing lady, right? A working mom, businesswoman. Regardless of your political affiliation, it's just more about managing everything she had to manage, right? And still showing up with style and grace and, gardening in the back of the White House. I mean, who has that kind of time and can make that, for her daughters and her family, and just an amazing all around lady. So I was definitely very impressed with her. Yeah.
So we've talked about the community side of your role at the UM at University of Miami, but that whole governmental side, shed some light on that, because I think it is very tough to be nonpartisan, and obviously Miami can be so split sometimes that I see your role, and I've seen you at events, and you can represent quite fairly nicely and eloquently. So tell us a little bit more about what that role entails, and how do you go about it?
I work with a team and who do amazing work all over, from lobbying for us in Tallahassee and in DC and locally. Our universities are supposed to be conveners of the conversation and not necessarily on any side. And I think that that's what I love, that we're able to hear both sides and hear different opinions and discuss it intelligently without battling. And part of us being in the community and building those relationships, I think is essential and key, because we get to hear what's happening. We get to share that with our students, with our faculty, with our staff. And I think it's important that we are out there and we're seen as leaders, but we don't need to pick a side. We're a university, we're neutral. And I think I find that the most interesting, because we get to talk with everyone. And I love that inclusiveness of everyone has a voice.
I love that too. And also, the fact that you came from the fashion side, and you have such a diverse background leading up to it. You never cease to amaze me nor surprise me with some of the things that you've done and the history that you know. But let's step back a little bit. I'm going to be going to Catwalk Fashion, Catwalk for Angels for Humanity on October 22nd, and it's going to be with Balmain. And but you know a lot about fashion and what it's taken in some of the greats. What's your take on fashion and style in Miami?
Well, I love that the fashion. So back when I was an agent, and obviously times have changed, there was a lot of print. We did a lot of magazine covers, and when Gianni Versace was still around, we worked a lot with him, from Vogue to. So it was a very interesting time in Miami, and it's interesting to see Miami Beach evolve from when I was a little girl and I'd go there and there was no traffic on Ocean Drive, and I'd take my Barbies and play on the beach. Love Barbie. And now she's doing a comeback. Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Barbie has she's made a comeback.
She's made a comeback, and she's so fashionable too. But then, having worked in the fashion industry during a time when it was hot and happening here at, Miami and South Beach, and seeing the trends from what's happened even with the internet, from photography to now everything's online. You don't get those big catalogs in the mail anymore. So I definitely enjoy fashion. I still keep in touch with a lot of the girls that I used to represent. Still kind of their big sister in a way, that they still call for advice at times. And I made some amazing friends, and I helped a lot of folks through some difficult times. I saw a lot of different, things happen in folks' lives, and I helped girls who would have otherwise not gone to the next level of their career, be very successful. I represented Heidi Klum, Linda Evangelista, Cindy Crawford. I mean, some
The big
amazing,
three.
iconic women who were very smart, even from a very young age. They were very about the business. And those are the ones that have succeeded in their careers. And it was definitely a very interesting time in Miami, though. And it has continued to, because a lot of those agencies are no longer here. The fashion industry has changed a bit. You still see them in New York, and I scouted throughout the entire U.S. and Canada and South America. But it was definitely fun times and very interesting. A lot of folks from very diverse backgrounds, which I love and enjoy so much.
That's wonderful. And here on Spotlight, we like to also get a little bit into, the woman behind the scenes. So I've had the honor of being in your home, and I think style carries on to, the way you live and what your style is, in your home. So, tell us what's your go-to, and, describe us your home, Adriana at home style.
So style wise, no, I'm very modern, clean. You could probably go to my house right now and you'll see nothing out. It looks like, a showroom kind of thing. I like very neat and organized. I'd like at any given moment to call some friends over for cocktails after work, and I know the house is ready to go.
You do quite a bit of entertaining.
Yeah, with occasion, the two poodles, the sugar and spice, they may cause a little chaos, but
Just love those names.
yeah. But no, we love to just grill and have friends over and, use our pool, and we love our community and neighborhood. We have amazing neighbors as well. And, yeah, we love to bike down to the bay. We're very close to the bay and, Old Cutler. And, we love our community. We love where we live now. And
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah. Going back to kind of your goals, career, looking at some of the things that you're doing and that are on your vision board, let's say. I know that you are involved in quite a few events that are coming up. This would be your opportunity, your 30-second commercial for, to give any of those, some support.
So, very excited. I was invited to be the chair of the gala for the Red Cross of South Florida and the Keys. And so we're planning right now. We're planning the committee and planning the event. I have a fantastic committee of friends. Once they told me, oh, yeah, you can invite friends to the committee, I'm like, I have a lot of
We have a lot of founder circle that,
yeah.
Trish Bell, Marilyn,
Anna Vega Milton. And so we're excited. We're excited about
What's the theme this year?
So
do you have a theme already?
So there is a theme, and we've hired Wow Productions. That's amazing to plan the event. And we've given him a lot of feedback, and it won't be the typical, that's for sure. But come and see. There'll be lots of surprises, and obviously wear your red dress.
Right. Well, we love Jose Dance, and he was great. One of our Men Who Rock. One of the individuals that we honored, him, Stuart Barnes, and some of the other.
My former boss, Stuart.
So he's fabulous.
Yeah.
And some of the other people that, and WOW does do that. WOW.
They do WOW.
Even with the Illuminations Gala.
So we're excited for Chapman. Yes.
Chapman's around the corner, November 11th.
Around the corner. Amigos for Kids is this Saturday. So we're excited that. I was on the committee for that as well. And they do amazing work in the community. We have that coming up. The Coral Gables Community Foundation is having their Cherry Blossoms in the Sky, and that's also coming up. So I'm excited about that as well.
You truly are a rock star. And, I feel so honored to have you as part of the Founder Circle. What are some of the things that you felt like with Miami Women Who Rock when you think about, who we are and, probably when we first came to you, like, who are these women? Share a little bit about your experience because you're a Founder Circle member.
So I walked into the Biltmore one day, and I was going to attend a lunch, and there was absolutely no parking anywhere. Everyone was dressed in pink, and I was like, did I not get the memo? And they were going to your event, to Miami Women Who Rock. And I'm like, who are they? I need to know. And so shortly after, we were connected, and amazing group of ladies. I can't tell you the sisterhood, the friendships, and just ladies that are out there in the community giving their time, supporting each other. Just an amazing group. I've had a wonderful time with all of them, and I truly have made some great friendships. And it's just an amazing group of ladies that does great work in the community. So we're excited.
Who are some of your favorite rock stars when you think of people in different areas? Doesn't have to be in Miami Women Who Rock, but think about the people, because people ask me, we're this rock star, how did you get that term? And I said, well, I started up MTV Latino. That was one reason, but I think there's a certain pride that comes with being a rock star because you're a pillar, a rock to the community, and you shine brightly. Right. So who would you say are some people that you think are like real, leaders in the industry or here in the business? I mean, it could be at UM, outside of UM.
Well, there's so many. I mean, UM has an incredible amount of amazing talent and leadership. But it would be hard to just name one there because there's so many. Doctors, brilliant, leadership, deans,
love the doctors.
Yeah, the deans of the different colleges, and that would be a very long list.
Okay. Well, then
but in the community,
we'll
obviously, I'm going to say, a huge fan of Emily Zubi, and a great friend and mentor, and just amazing leadership for the organization you run and everything that you do. You don't stop. Your creativity, your passion, tenacity, integrity, just amazing. And like that, there's so many. I mean, it would be hard to mention them, Ana Vega Milton, Marila Lopez, we already mentioned some of the leaders. Just an amazing group of ladies.
I had the honor of going with you to the UM game, and I will, yes, but it's funny because in some of the photos, I was trying to do the reverse, the combined you. I didn't quite get it, in some, as you will see in some of the photos, but it was just truly powerhouse after powerhouse. And, you don't forget a name. I mean, you were like, let me introduce you to so-and-so and so-and-so. And, I am just so impressed with your ability to do that because you represent our community and the university, everything that you do. You just make me proud because, you do it and you are a rock star at what you do, at all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything else that like you wish I would have asked you?
No. And yeah, no, we were happy to have you come to one of the football games. It's always great to watch the Canes win.
Yeah, there we go. Give it one you.
Yeah. And, we have an amazing community around us. Like I always say, UM's a community within a community. So we're excited about what's to come at the U this season. And I'm very appreciative to have had the opportunity to come. And I'm usually a background person, but happy to come in and talk with you and share.
Well, we're so happy to shine this spotlight on, we've been talking to Adriana Verdeja, who is not only a Miami Woman Who Rock, but executive director of government and community Relations. Did I get that the title right? And is just a total rock star in the community, not only at but such a blessing to have with us. So we thank you for being on the show, and thank you for sharing, for shedding the light on our community, because you do shine brightly. We thank you, and we'll see you next time on Spotlight.